As we head into mud season in Maine, Portland Stage Company is offering a comedy to take our minds off the mud. It's a show called Native Gardens, and with us here on 207 are two of the actors who are bringing it to life, Laura Hauk and Jose Maria Aguilar. Thank you both for coming in. Good to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
Do you like doing comedy, Laura?
I love it. I love it. I get such a kick out of it, and it makes my job so much more fun.
I know that actors like to do all kinds of things. That if you've had the opportunity and you have the skills, that actors like to do drama, they like to do musicals, they like to do farce, they like to do tragedy, and they like to do comedy. How do you feel about comedy?
I gotta say, there's nothing like a comedy to really put you through your acting paces. You know,
we all know that in the acting business, great comic performances are rarely honored. When you look at the winners of the Academy Awards, for instance, you look at great comedies, no actor or actress hardly ever wins. Why is comedy in acting sort of underrated, do you think?
Well, I don't know. You know, there's that old joke, dying is easy, comedy is hard. Yeah. Right, and it is. There are a lot of things that go into it. You know, you can't play the comedy. You have to be true to the character and play the text. And I think it doesn't get its due.
And yet, when you think of some of our most celebrated actors, someone like Robin Williams, who started off as a comic, and huge range that a lot of these, you know, you'll see a lot of these comics that will transition into the drama and do quite well.
In terms of the material, working with the material, when you're on the stage and you guys are starting to rehearse and get the show together, are you saying, all right, here's a point where I'm going to try to be funny, or do you just say, I'm just going to stay in character and do my best by telling the lines in a true way?
No, I mean, you know, there's a rule about that. It's, you know, it can be funny to the audience, can't really be funny to us. Yeah. So you know, you want to stay away from planning, I guess, is really the answer.
Right. It's tempting, but yeah. You have to. Yeah, that's why we have a good director.
Yeah, to rein you in when needed, provide a little light touch, and keep you on the right path. What is this show about? Give us the premise.
You want to forfeit part of the land that rightfully belongs to us to give some old people we barely know something for nothing, and pay the extra property taxes to boot?
That doesn't feel right either.
This show is about two couples, an older couple who are established in their neighborhood, somewhat semi-retired, let's say, been around for a while, and a new young couple that move in next door. The older couple have a very well-established garden that the husband prizes, and the young couple discover that there is a question about the property line.
Why don't we all take a big deep breath and pause?
So you have conflict, and conflict is always at the heart of drama, but conflict is often at the heart of comedy too, right, Jose Maria?
Oh yeah, I mean, want conflict change, and that's really all of storytelling. In this one, we just sprinkle in some comedy, a little bit of slapstick, and some great sound design and lights, and it's just been a blast to work on.
When you guys get on stage together for the first time during rehearsals, day one of rehearsals, what does it feel like as you're feeling out your role, feeling out these other actors whom you probably have never worked with before?
That's right.
It's got to be a little bit awkward. What's the sense like?
Yeah, it feels like you're, I don't know for you, you know, we'll spend the first couple of days or so at the table, reading the play, having discussions about the world of the play. And getting up for the first time, it really feels like you're learning to walk. But it really does. What do I do with my hands?
I don't know what am I doing yet.
But you know, you mentioned the cast. I mean, you know, this is a four-hander, so it's really just the four of us. But you know, it's such a good cast. Everyone is so fast and quick, and we're all just kind of trying to catch up with each other. So
here's a question I'm curious about. When you are up on stage, what do you do with your hands? If you just stand there like this, then you look like a stiff. If you curl your fingers, the people in the audience say, oh, they're nervous. So what do you do with your hands?
Well, if you have to think about that, you're not doing your job.
Right. What was that? Shakespeare said, don't saw the air with your hands. No, I mean, you know, as you get more and more runs and in the rehearsal process, you know, you
forget about it, right?
You know, I had a professor in grad school say, just behave like a human. Off you go.
That sounds like great advice, yeah. Well, behave like humans, both of you. Break your legs, and thank you for coming in. We appreciate you being here. Again, Native Gardens runs through March 29th at Portland Stage Company. We've got all the information you need about the show and tickets and everything else on our 207 website and mobile app. Stay with us, back with more after this.